Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, June 28th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day, to stop for just a few minutes and be in an attitude of prayer and meditation and reflection, to center yourself in God who made you and calls you and loves you by name. Each time we come together, I've been using a different reading from Mark to focus our attention a little bit and to hear a word from God. Today's reading is Mark 10:46 to 52, and it's the story of Bartimaeus, blind Bartimaeus, they often call him. Jesus had just gotten off a boat and crowds surround him, and in the crowd is Bartimaeus, a blind man who hears that it is Jesus, and so he begins to cry out, "Jesus of Nazareth, have mercy on me," and everybody starts telling him, "Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet." And he yells all the more, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus says, "Tell him to come here." And Bartimaeus comes, Jesus falls at his feet, and Jesus says, what do you want me to do for you?" And the response is, "Let me see again." And he regains his sight. Now, you can read the sight part of that literally or symbolically or both, and both maybe is the best. I'm not sure it matters, because what happens here is a call story and not so much a miracle story, although it is both. It's a call story in the sense that Bartimaeus calls out to Jesus and Jesus calls him to come, and after he receives his sight, he follows Jesus on the way. It's like the other calls where Jesus just calls his disciples and they follow. It's not like the calls of the prophets or Paul, who fight and resist the call. It's a transition story from a time of teaching on discipleship to what comes next, which is confronting the religious authorities of the day. So I invite you to find a quiet place, if you haven't already done so, and settle into a chair. If the room has a door that you're in, close the door and feel the strength and support of that chair, and allow your body to begin to relax. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, and continue to breathe deeply. As you breathe in the breath of God, and as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out everything that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. As you breathe out all of your worries and your fears and your anxieties. Continue to breathe deeply and imagine that the Spirit of God is touching you and growing in you, renewing you and refreshing you. So on this day, we're in the middle of a heat wave. Perhaps you want to imagine it like stepping into a wonderful pool of water that brings refreshment in the heat. You put your feet in and up to your ankles, and you feel that renewal and refreshment, and your feet are touched, and peace comes. You step down up to your knees, and more renewal comes, and your calves begin to relax, and the muscle tensions and cramps that might be there go away. You step down up to your waist, and you can feel that the relaxation and the renewal and the refreshment of God's Spirit is filling your thighs. And then you dip down so that the water comes to just under your arms. And as you are in that place, there, your stomach begins to calm, and all the butterflies settle down. Your breathing stays nice and deep, and your heart rate is steady and resting. The muscles in your back relax and become soft. The burdens of the day are set aside for at least this time. And then you dip down so the water is up to your neck. You let your arms float freely, and the muscles in your arms, your biceps and your forearm and your hands all relax, and they're just floating freely in the water. They're being renewed and refreshed by the presence of God's Spirit. Your shoulders are relaxed from setting down the burdens of the day. And then you dip down so the water's up to your chin. You smile as it splashes up to the edge of your chin. And the muscles in your neck relax. And if those muscles have been tense enough to give you a headache, the pain is eased just a bit. And then you dip down under the water. Your face is renewed and refreshed by feeling the coolness of that water on this day. Your mind releases all of the things that have been bouncing around inside and gets calm. You're relaxed. When you look around, you see someone sitting on the side of this pool where you are. You walk up the steps, get out of the pool, pick up a towel from a pile of towels that is sitting there, and begin to dry yourself off. You know that this person before you is Jesus. He calls you just as Jesus called Bartimaeus. And he says to you what Jesus said to Bartimaeus. What do you want me to do for you? Now, Bartimaeus knew exactly what he wanted. He had his desire straight, unlike the disciples who asked to sit one on the left and the right. When you go into the depth of your heart and mind, what do you want Jesus to do for you? I'll be quiet while you consider that and talk it over with Jesus. And then the time comes to say goodbye and to end this time. And you do so in whatever way is appropriate. And you allow that image to fade away and bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Monday, June 28th. If you have feedback for me or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.